Hello everyone, today's video is different. It's a bit special because I took a trip for you guys and for me. Mainly for me, but also for you. Because I am that divination witch and I love tarot. I love reading tarot. It is my job to read tarot. And so when I found out about the exhibition in London, I had to go. At time of filming, I went yesterday, and that was the last day of the exhibition, 30th of April. This is probably going to come out way in the future. I don't know when, but when it comes out, it'll be way past then. So I went because it's like, well, who knows if I'll ever get to see these things again. They had some pretty neat stuff there to go look at. It was at a place called the Warburg Institute. So I filmed a bit there, and I filmed in some other places too. We had some pit stops along the way and after, and I swear like right now, I am knackered. You will find out why. So stay tuned. I'll put the clips and everything up. Before we get into it, I just want to say, if you are new, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. My name is Sarah, that divination witch. My channel is a witchy community and safe space, so if you want to join, hit subscribe. We don't judge here. And if you would like to get a reading from me or learn from me, all of my links are below. I've got a website, Etsy, Patreon, all that stuff. Going through so much stuff on Patreon right now. Yeah, it's all there. I just wanted to let you know that. So let's dive into the footage from London. Well, I'm actually melting my head off here. The first stop I am taking is here in the British Museum. There is apparently the Bernie relief in here, so I wanted to see what all that was about and take you guys for a look around, because I know not everyone's fortunate enough to have this on their doorstep. I do agree that there are ancient artefacts here that should be returned home, but hey ho, we're here. So let's have a look, see what we can find. Okay, so this is the stairwell that I happened to go up. A lot of the stairwells in the British Museum have different reliefs and mosaics on them. This is from Halicarnassus, ancient Greece. Very interesting, very unique. And I walked first around the ancient Egyptian exhibit. There's a lot upstairs, but if you ever go to the British Museum, there's a lot downstairs as well to do with ancient Egypt. I do think it is the most popular in the museum. These rooms were packed. Now, it breaks my heart a bit, you know, British colonialism. I won't comment too much on that. I already have commented a lot in the video, but I'm honoured that we can get to see these things up close and just look at how ornate these different things are. Obviously, I took so many pictures and so many videos. I'd be here all day, but I just found this fascinating. Obviously, different time periods, different areas. It wasn't just Egypt itself, it was Libya as well, you know, different kingdoms. So from there I went upstairs to Japan. There's an exhibition on there on loan from the Mitsubishi Corporation. So lots of different things to do with different ancient eras of Japan. Found that interesting. If you're not new here, you'll know. I've always been fascinated with Japanese culture. And from there, I went to find Lilith, or try to. So I was in the Mesopotamian, Babylonian area, and I spent a long time in there, a heck of a long time. I felt really drawn to this area, and it wasn't as packed as Egypt. This was fascinating, and I can't believe that we have this. The walls of Babylon? Like, what? And I'm no historian, but it just blows my mind that we have such things. These next few clips, these little reliefs and figures that people made of different things, how intricately detailed they are. Thousands upon thousands of years ago, these things were created. It just blows my mind that we have preserved them for so long, and yeah, that we have them. And just how detailed they are. I could feel the energy, but they have been obviously on display for a very long time, so I could feel that too. Now, the Bernie relief is this, and if you are not new to my channel, you know I work with Lilith. The Bernie relief is said to be either Lilith or Ishtar, Queen of the Night. Okay? The freaking thing wasn't even there. Spoiler alert. I was gutted, honestly, but it is what it is. One day, maybe I'll see it in person. I would have thought it would have been bigger, all the pictures you see on the internet of it. I would have thought it would have been bigger, but no, it's not. However, from this information, I paused to look at the other things beside it, the other reliefs. Now, this particular one, not the guy, the three ladies, they're all the same lady. I discovered a new goddess, although she's not a new goddess, new to me. She's a very, very ancient goddess. And this is a rabbit hole I need to go down, because the Bernie relief is said to be Ishtar / Inanna / Lilith. Okay. This is said to be a goddess called Lama. And looking into her, she was kind of like a go-between humanity and the goddesses. She was like an emissary, a messenger, so to speak, an ambassador. Now, if you think of Lilith and the Lilith 2, which I know Lilith herself doesn't like being called that in my UPG, but people do link them up. The Lilith 2 were lesser spirits of the underworld, but are said to be evil, basically. I don't know, it was kind of, let's say, the good version of a Lilith 2. That's what it seemed like to me. And I'm like, Lilith, are you connected with Lama, this lady? But I haven't dug into it yet. But I did find it fascinating and very beautiful. These were some other reliefs that I saw there. And again, blows my mind. That one in the middle, beautiful. It just blows my mind how in depth they are for the time. People may not have had technology then, but they certainly had skill, definitely. So after the Mesopotamia area and the fact that I couldn't find the Blum and Bernie relief, I was looking round and round. I just had a wander round. Obviously there's loads of other exhibits. I could be here all day talking about them. But as a pagan witch who does deity confirmations, and I get to speak with these beings, it's fascinating to see some of their relics, because I do feel like a part of them is in there. And they've probably seen many, many, many things over the years being on display. But hey, at least we've preserved them. At least we haven't destroyed every single thing. There's a lot that was destroyed though. There's something funny I can't show because it's YouTube, but there was a fawn statue and someone snapped his genitalia off. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, that was Minerva, beautiful Minerva. This is Sekhmet. Now this, I was sneaky and I did touch it. I just felt like I had to touch it. Now, downstairs, there were so many Sekhmets. Downstairs, if you go to the British Museum, it's where the Rosetta Stone is. There's a lot of huge ancient Egyptian statues and other Mesopotamian ones as well, in one big hall. But it was packed out. But this as well, this hall, those books, oh my god, I could have been there all day looking at them. Ancient tomes, oldish tomes. I felt like I was in Hogwarts or something. But this is just fascinating to me. So there's some Egyptian idols of the gods. There's another beautiful Minerva. She's one of my goddesses, you see. So I do have a soft spot for her. And then I did have a soft spot for some other statues. But I'd be here all day. This picture, you may be wondering, what the hell is this? Well, bit of comic relief. Poor bird. I thought it looked like Donald Trump. The hair, poor thing. There was some taxidermy in there as well. So yeah, this was the British Museum, and next we went off to the Warburg Institute. Insert footage here. So the Warburg Institute hold exhibitions every so often. This tarot exhibition, I caught the last day, 30th of April, so I'm sorry it's finished now. But it was a history of tarot. So, okay, I was very much the tourist in the room. The room was small and very packed. And I was very lucky to see what I saw. But even for me, it was a little smidge overwhelming with, I don't know, there was quite a lot of people in there. And yeah, so I try my best to get footage. Obviously, yeah. So, yeah, this is not very good commentary. So I started backwards, right? Because that's me. I went backwards to the front. So it was a commentary on the history of tarot with some new decks in there. So what you saw at the beginning was new decks, Hexen Tarot, some other ones I believe, I can't remember. And then it kind of went, I went backwards instead of forwards because it was packed at the front, okay? So I filmed as much as I could. We had decks there from Austin Osman's Spare. We had Crawley's Thoth Tarot and the original artwork, which you'll see in a bit there. I was enamoured by this. I mean, I am in the midst of a Crawley research time. I'm not saying I'm a fangirl by any means, but it just freaking fascinates me. And this artwork of the Thoth Tarot, Frida's artwork, stunning to see it up close, to see the individual pencil lines. I love art anyways, but yeah, just I love these. But I couldn't spend as much time as I wanted with them, sort of thing. But yeah, lovely. And then the really, really old decks were there. I mean, we delved into the history, how it went from the Tarot Marseille and beyond, from Cartomancy even. There you go, there's a Cartomancy deck. How some of these tarot decks as well, the original conception of them, were based upon the gods and goddesses. They were based upon archetypes. You know, we know this if you study Hermeticism, Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, Tree of Death, what I'm doing at the minute on my spiritual journey. Tarot is linked to anything and everything. It is the fabric of the universe. I know that sounds wild, but it is. It's the archetypes of everything. Pause to read if you want to read any of this. But that deck is so old. The fact I've seen that with my eyeballs, you know. So here's some snaps from the exhibit. This is not even all the snaps because this area was packed and I couldn't get in. And also, yes, ever the tourist, my camera, every time I clicked record, it was like, doo-doo, and the room was silent. And then there was me like, hee. I believe that was Pamela Coleman Smith's sketchbook as well, which I couldn't get to see it properly. But yeah, I'm just honoured that I got to see it. Also, these snaps here, I sent it to the guys on Patreon and I said, look, even the OGs used keywords. Never feel ashamed for learning your tarot with keywords. And if you need a beginner deck, that's alright. The OGs did it. You can do it too. This was my favourite card. And there's the Nasty Pasty Demiurge. Alright, so if you're at this point of the video, you've stuck around, thanks. This is the book haul section, alright? Yeah, I did say, I've got them beside me, sorry. So I had some pit stops along the way. I couldn't go to London and not go to like Watkins Books and Treadwell's. I did pop in the astrology shop as well, but those two shops, especially Watkins, I've turned into a Watkins fangirl. Sorry, not sorry. You know, I'm a humble girl from the northeast. You know, I don't think I could live in London. I love you all. I love you all if you're from London or wherever you're from. I love the city itself for its history, the connections, but the people, sometimes it's like too people-y for me. I think it's just because I'm not used to such a big city, you know, and being psychic and picking up on energies. It took it out of me. So let's get into it. Right, what books did I get? I forgot what shops I got things in. So this is going to be a mixture. Wait, let's not do it like that. Come on, Sarah, remember, Sarah. Oh, I can't remember. No, it's going to have to be a mix. I remember some from some shops and some from others. So anyways, I'll put the clips up of the front of all these shops, especially Watkins Books has been there since the 1800s. Maybe not exactly in that same spot, although that same spot has been there a long time. And it's in the heart of Leicester Square, which is Theatreland. Imagine Broadway if you're from New York or more familiar with that. It's so packed, but you just turn up this street, Cecil Court, and it's a bit more quaint, a bit more... and I just like the vibes, okay? That's just me. Right, first book I got. This is not just witchcraft, okay? This is spirituality and everything in between. This I was drawn to, the Gnostic Mystery. It seemed a smidgy bit new age when I read the blurb on the back. I've never heard of it in my life, but from last time I did a book haul from Watkins and stuff, there was a book I saw in the Egyptian section that I was drawn to, and I can't remember its name for the life of me. And I wish I bloody bought it because I can't find it. So yeah, some things, you know, this day and age, it's more accessible. You can get things online. You can get things cheaper online as well. And I do like to support small businesses. Of course I do. Because without the likes of Watkins, we wouldn't have like a lot of books, let's say. They publish their own books too. But yeah, just saying, I couldn't afford them all, and I also couldn't carry them all, okay? But I did try and pick up the ones that I was just drawn to. So this is one of them. And this is about a guy who was basically into Christianity. That's why I thought, oh, I don't know about this. And he wound up finding out about the Gnostics. And yeah, it's supposedly him talking about his truth, I suppose, the reality of Jesus and whatever. And it's just a rabbit hole I'm down right now. Gnosticism in general, I think they were onto something, the Gnostics, is what I'd say. So even though it's by a Christian guy, I've got nothing against Christians. It's just the asshole ones. But there's assholes everywhere. But yes, the Gnostic Mystery was the first one that I got. In the same vein, this was also from Watkins. It was in the same section. The Apocrypha, I can never pronounce that right. The Gnostic Apocrypha section, right? But Jason Miller reviewed it on the back, and he is an occultist and pretty well known, and I do like some of his stuff. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with all of his takes, but he's well renowned for a reason, and he kind of liked this book. So I was like, okay, if you don't know, I have worked with Azazel in the past. I am very interested in the Book of Enoch, the Watchers, or the Gregory as they're called, Samyaza, and I love Cockabeel as a spirit. But yeah, I just, anything to do with their story. I did a little video a while ago about the Angelarium books. I mean, I just eat that up. I love to hear about them. Yeah. So I got that. It's like a retelling thing. I don't know it precisely, but I thought, right, I'm getting that. Okay, what else was from Watkins? I'm trying to remember. I think, was it? Oh yeah, this one. This is for research purposes because of rabbit holes I've been led down by Hecate. I know what an Egregor is. You'll see from the title here. I actually tried to buy this book online. You can get it on Amazon, but I could only get it from Amazon US for some reason. Anyways, it got lost in the post and they had to refund me and everything. So I just felt like maybe it wasn't for me to have yet. But the things I've been going through and the rabbit holes I've been down, I've been sharing stuff on the channel about like hypersigils and things like that. And yeah, I do believe in egregores. If you don't know what an egregore is, I've got a video on them. An egregore is a thought form that can manifest into its own form of being. A famous example is Santa Claus. Some argue that the gods are egregores. But when people are in like the public eye and stuff, I've talked about Donald Trump having an egregore. It can be a thing, okay? So I just wanted to learn more and see other people's takes on it to help you guys and to help myself. Sorry, was losing my voice there. They also gave me a free magazine, which I thought was sweet, I guess. Sweet, I guess. I mean, they've been going for years, Watkins, and like I say, they've got their own publishing house. So yeah, just a free magazine. It was nice of them. Okay. In the astrology shop, remember, what did I buy in there? I think it was these two. I think it was. Oh, yeah. I think it was these two. Anyways, if it wasn't, oops. Real alchemy. I am in the Cliffoth right now. I am doing, Cabala. The Cliffoth itself is very alchemical. You go through the different spheres and you integrate energies into you, and it's hard to form words about it right now. I will do videos more about my Cliffoth journey. I did promise people I would, and I will. But anything I can get on alchemy and hermeticism and Kabbalah and things like this right now, I'm into. So it's for research purposes for my personal path. And yet, 3 traditional pillars of the Hermetic art are alchemy, astrology and Kabbalah. So there you go. Okay, and then I got this on a whim. And this was from that astrology shop. And I was reading this on the train home, but then I fell asleep. Not because of the book, because it was really late at night and I was absolutely wiped. So this is very interesting so far, what I've read. It makes sense. I am very much a chaos, I wouldn't say chaos magician, chaos witch, always have been, but I'm learning more about chaos magic from a magician's perspective. I read Phil Hine. I think I've got one of Peter Carroll's books in here. I read stuff like this because I find it dead interesting. That's what hypersigils are. It's part of chaos magic. It's just something I'm naturally drawn to. But this book here, the Chaos Protocol, is about everything I've been wondering about, and probably you guys too. I would recommend to get it, actually. It can be a bit of a dry read, but it's about how our economy, in the Western world at least, is not how it used to be once. Money doesn't really have a value in the way it used to, so a lot of folk magic and traditions that we have around money balls and things like this might not work the way they used to work, is what he's saying, and he's offering different perspectives and approaches, because really, when a dollar, back in the day, a dollar used to be a dollar. But now a dollar doesn't mean a dollar. It's actually debt. Like, this is how bad inflation and things are getting. And it's not just in America. It's like this in the UK too. He explains it all, though. I don't want to spoil it. But yes, the guy, which I need to check him out actually, the guy who wrote it runs a blog called Rune Soup. So I'm going to check it out myself. I haven't even checked that out. But I like your book, if you ever see this. I like this so far. I was drawn to it. Yeah, and he cracks some jokes in it so far. I was like, tee-hee. You sound like my type of guy. Right, this one, I don't know if this guy's my type of guy. This is for research purposes, and it's spoilers for later videos that may or may not come. I don't know yet what I think or how to word things or put things. So this is one of Kenneth Grant's books. I'm currently getting them all that I can, especially the Typhonian ones. Now, Kenneth Grant. He invented the tunnels of Set. If you know what they are, cool. If you don't worry about it. But if you know what they are, well, you know that they're in the Cliffoth. and I don't think it's what we think it is, let's say. But that's my opinion so far. I will talk more about it, but Kenneth Grant, I mean, he was Crowley's secretary, and I mean, I never knew the guy personally, obviously, he's no longer alive, and he does have a lot of theories, and he did a lot for magic in general, just like Crowley did, but again, like his predecessor, he had problems too, and I'm seeing that, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's all I'll say. I'm not dissing him or anything. If you know, you know. It's for research purposes, okay? That's why I got that. Just while I was in the area, saves me ordering it online, because all this stuff is online. You can order it directly from the publisher as well. They're very friendly people too, yeah, but it saves all the hassle. With that being the case, this is another one for research purposes only right now. I believe all these are from Treadwell's, by the way. Milo Duquette, he is a really good author. I have a few of his books. He writes a lot about Thelema, Crowley, Hermeticism. Yeah, he's really, really good. He's scholarly and he knows his stuff. Enochian Vision Magic. So it's a guide to John Dee and Edward Kelly, this book. Now, John Dee and Edward Kelly were Elizabethan guys who said to have channeled angels. So if you know what Enochian tablets are, if you know what angel magic is, not the fluffy version like this sort of stuff, these guys came up with it, let's say. And I need to learn. I need to learn more about it. I know absolutely sweet FA about it, really. Just the very, very basics. Never done it. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I don't know how I feel about it. I know Crowley was interested in it as well. So it's just something for research. Because knowledge is power. And the more we know, the more we grow. Now this one I'm very excited to read. Probably loads of people have read it already, but I haven't. Peter J Carroll, one of the most prolific chaos magicians there is. Him, Phil Hine, Grant Morrison, top 3 chaos dudes to me. I just like their take on things. This is one of his grimoires. Yeah, doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I mean, it even says in the blurb, you know, it's got his rituals and stuff. A lot of these things will have rituals in, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to just do it. Don't follow things blindly. But I do like to see what people come up with, you know. So, yeah, got that. And then this last one I got. The Magical Art. And again, for research purposes. I just was drawn to it. Again, you know, I may never get the chance to have this again. It's again for research purposes is what I'll say. It's a lot to do with the path I am on, demonolry, and also angel stuff, and yeah, all sorts is in here. That's all I'll say. If you know, you know. It's a kind of complex, even for me in my tiny mind right now. But I was drawn to it for a reason, so I got it while I was there. I also picked up this while I was in the British Museum. It was a free little leaflet, cute, about the Japan exhibit. So I'm just going to keep that because why not? Why not? But that was my little haul. Now, if it wasn't for the books, I wouldn't have bought anything. It's just when you're in the area, you know, it's not every day I go there. So while I had the money and was able to, I did it, you know. And that's that. They're all for a reason. They're all for research purposes. It's nothing like frivolous sort of thing. It will all lend to my knowledge, my path, my personal growth, and help you guys along the way as well. What I learn, I share at the end of the day, and I give my opinions on, and I recommend things or not recommend things and whatever. So I will keep you guys in the loop. But that was the video. I hope you liked it and found it interesting. We are so lucky in the UK to have the British Museum free to enter. But I will say, in case I didn't mention it in the clips already, I don't agree with capitalism and well, not capitalism, colonialism, that's it. The plundering of other cultures and things like this. At the time it happened, and it's a product of its time, it doesn't mean it should be excused, but yeah. Some countries, I personally feel, can take back and should take back their relics and their artefacts. But there's others I personally feel don't have the means to do that and to make sure they're preserved, not just for us as British people, but for the world. You know, there are other places. I've been to the Natural History Museum in New York. I mean, there's all sorts. There's the Met. There's all sorts of places across the world with other countries and cultures artefacts in, and that, as much as I don't agree with why it happened, it is a thing. And it's got a lot of nuances to it, because I just want to say that sometimes as well, people from back in the day who were the locals were selling these things, and not just selling these things, some of them were destroying it. I know the statue of Zeus was destroyed, and bits of the Colosseum when I went to Rome years ago was repurposed and used for other things. And yeah, people throughout the ages didn't have the same respect, I suppose, on the whole. Not that everyone has respect, to be honest, but they didn't have the same respect that we do in the modern age for the past and where we come from. So yeah, that's my take on that. But I hope you found this interesting, and until next time, stay safe, stay witchy, all that jazz, and hit subscribe. If you liked it, do it. Do it. All right, bye-bye.